Hello guys and welcome to my first video of the channel, which is installing the PlayStation 1 emulator and play your favorite classic PS1 games on your PC using DuckStation. You can play as well on any laptop or any handheld such as Lenovo Legion or even Asus ROG Ally that supports Windows 10 or Windows 11. Now before we start, I'm gonna go over 3 steps. First, what you need to know before installing the emulator and avoiding some errors that you might face during the installation. The second step, installing the emulator. And the third step, we're gonna set the controller and the graphics settings so we can play the games. So let's get started. First of all, open your browser and type in DuckStation. And then click on the first website, duckstation.org. Click on Windows. And before installing the emulator, you need to download and install the Visual C++ on your PC in order to run the emulator, because if you don't, the emulator may not run properly. Now, after the installation, download the zip portable. I don't recommend using the installer version because it's going to install all the other files of the emulator on a different location on your PC, and this is annoying. So download zip portable. After that, I'm going to drag it on my desktop. And you can use whatever you want to extract the file with, such as 7Z or WinRAR. I'm going to use WinRAR, so I'm going to right click and click on extract to DuckStation, the same file name. I'm going to delete this one, and this is the folder that we have. Now, if you open the folder, the emulator and 3 folders and other files shown right here. But before you can run the emulator, you need to create a text document and name it portable. Why? Because if you run the emulator right now, you're going to store every other files on a different location on your PC. So right click on an empty space, click on new, create text document and name it portable. Just like that. And then click enter. Now let's run the emulator. If I run the emulator, as you can see, pop-up window shows that Microsoft Defender Smart Screen prevented an unrecognized app from starting. This is annoying as well because you're gonna have to click on more info and run anyway. And this might show every time you run the emulator. On Windows 11, you cannot run the emulator unless you disable the smart screen. So I'm gonna show you how you can do that. So click on the start menu, click on settings, click on update and security, click on Windows security, app and browser control, click on reputation-based protection settings. And all you have to do to disable is the first option, which is check app and files, and disable it. After that, go back to the emulator, double click on it, and this pop-up window will show. Just uncheck always ask before opening this file. Click on run. And as you can see, now we have all the emulator file inside the same folder as well as the BIOS folder. And before we continue, I have right here the BIOS file that I can't tell you where you can get it exactly because it's against YouTube policies, so you're gonna have to find it yourself. And the BIOS that I'm using is SCPH1001, and you're gonna have to make sure it's .bin file. Now I'm gonna drag and drop the BIOS file inside the BIOS folder of the emulator. Drop it just like that. You're gonna have to create a folder and then name it PS Games or whatever you wanna call it, PS1 Games, and then store all of your games inside it. Now let's go back to the emulator, click on next. You can set the language that you want or any theme that you want, as you can see, and then check enable automatic update. Whenever the emulator has an update, you can update it by opening the emulator and a pop-up window will show, or even click on update inside the settings of the emulator. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. Click on next, and this is where you need to set the BIOS file. Now, when I drag and drop the BIOS inside the folder, all you have to do is click on refresh list. If you did so, you're gonna find the BIOS shown inside the emulator. Leave it at auto detect and then click next. And in this tab, you're gonna have to add the folder that contains all the games file. So click on add, search for the folder, and this is the folder, highlight it, and then click on select folder. Click on yes, so it will scan all the games. Click on next. And this is where you need to set the controller, whether you have an Xbox controller, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or even a Nintendo controller. I'm gonna click on automatic mapping, and there's nothing shown right here that shows that my controller is connected. So I have a PS4 controller. I'm gonna connect my controller. The controller right now is connected, so I'm gonna click again on automatic mapping, and this is my controller. Select SDL0, click on next. Now right here we're gonna have to set the graphics settings. So I like to set the internal resolution up to 1080p. Texture filtering, I like to put it on XPR Various Low No Edge Blending. Same thing goes with the sprite texture filtering, so you have a smooth surface on an object, the characters, the cars, the road, anything that inside the game. The crop. So whenever you have a black bar on top or the bottom of the screen, you're gonna have to change the crop on all borders. Enabling the PGXP geometry correction, so you have a smooth graphics, no glitching over the characters or even anything inside the game. Click on next, next, finish, and there we go. Now we need to change the list mode to the grid mode so we can add the images or the covers art of the games. So click on the grid mode icon right here, as you can see. And now go back to the browser and type in PS1 cover downloader. As you can see, click on the first website, PSX covers collection. Scroll down and you will find two links. As you can see, the first one is going to download the cover arts on 2D mode, and the second one is going to download on 3D mode. So I'm going to copy this one by clicking on this icon. Go back to the emulator, click on Tools, Cover Downloader, paste the link right here, and then click on Start. It will download all the covers of the game. Now the final thing you're going to have to do is click on Settings, Interface, and this is where you can update the emulator by clicking on Check for Update, or whenever you open the emulator, a pop-up window will show if there's an update and you can update the emulator. Go back to the settings, interface, and then enable start full screen mode. So whenever you start any game, it will start on full screen mode. Start Crash Team Racing, and now I have the game on full screen mode. Now I might make a video on how you can improve the performance of the emulator and making it stable at 25 FPS or 30 FPS on some games or different games, and also fixing the widescreen that is not compatible with some games. And I hope this video was helpful. If you do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials just like this. And as always, have a nice day and see you on the next one. Peace.